Good evening. This is A Night in the World. Now, the United States of America is in a very interesting position right now. Not only do we have Donald Trump just, kind of losing his mind, becoming a little more demented by the day, they've got these ICE agents, and they're out of control. Now, they're under the control of Trump, ultimately. He's deployed them across the country in the last 12 months. But at the moment, they've been focusing on Minneapolis, Minnesota. And a couple of weeks ago, we saw the death of Renee Good, sitting in her car, not trying to run anyone down, but then shot in the head 3 times and killed. Well, just yesterday, we saw a fellow by the name of Alex Pretty shot 10 times after not brandishing a weapon at ICE officers, not reaching for his weapon, not doing anything looking like remotely harming them. He in fact had the weapon taken off him after about 5 officers were on top of him, and after the weapon was taken off him, he was shot 10 times and killed. This is causing all kinds of outrage, and it's justified. Now, looking from a perspective, looking from my perspective from here in Australia, and a lot of other people in the world too, we want to sort of zoom out and look at the repercussions of this and what can be done to actually stop it. There are going to be a lot of protests coming up. There's going to be probably some violent protests. There's probably going to be some violent retribution taken towards some of the ICE officers, unfortunately, but that's just the way it goes. What can they do? What can they do to get Trump to stop? Now, we know what international bodies have done to get Trump to stop. They start selling off their US Treasury bonds. Well, Trump doesn't like that. I'm not sure that's the answer this time, or that can't be done this time with this. What can you do? You can hit Trump where it hurts. He doesn't like it when he starts losing money. He doesn't like it when he sees the markets go down. How can they make the markets go down? If millions of people in the United States of America decided they're just not going to buy anything for a week or a month even, that would send their economy down, down, down. The markets would start to crash, and Trump wouldn't like it. He'd be forced to pull out. He'd be forced to pull out of Minnesota. That's the only thing they could really do. Protest by all means. Protest by all means, but the only way you're going to get Trump to stop something is if he sees it affecting the markets and it hurts his hip pocket and it hurts his ego. He doesn't like seeing these things. This is how the Europeans got out of this whole Greenland situation. Some countries started dumping bonds. This is how what Japan did when they got hit with tariffs last year. They started dumping US Treasury bonds. The market started to jitter. Trump pulls back. So if you can hit him where it hurts, and that's where it hurts him. I've seen a number of commentators say today that, all they need is 20 senators to decide that enough's enough, walk up to the White House and say, hey, Donald, stop this nonsense or we're going to impeach you. Now, that seems a little far-fetched, but you never know. That may happen. It may not happen over this, but I think it's possible that it could be coming over something else because he gets more and more demented every day. So what are they going to do over there? And what's the next city going to be? And what's the next victim going to be? Is it going to be in Minneapolis again? Will it be an ICE agent this time that gets killed? I don't know. But they are heading for genuine civil unrest over there. And, it may be by design. It may be by design. It may be the preliminary workings of a White House that wants to cancel the midterm elections. And how do they cancel the midterm elections? They invoke the Insurrection Act. They can send troops onto the streets, Marines onto the streets, and Donald can say something like, yeah, the election's got to be cancelled. It's too dangerous. These radical left lunatics. Because it's not looking good for him right now. He's probably going to lose the House, which means he loses money supply, essentially, to just do whatever he wants. So I think it's a real possibility that they could be heading for that, and that this could be the early on workings of some kind of plan. When you got people like Stephen Miller in the White House, who, after seeing this footage, we all know that he's seen the footage. He calls this guy a violent murderer intent on causing all kinds of harm to law enforcement officers and all this kind of nonsense. A domestic terrorist and all this BS. When you've got people like him in the White House, I don't think you can rule anything out. And then, of course, you go on to places like X, the cesspool that is X. There are people on there who have just lost their humanity. They don't care anymore. The only good leftist is a dead leftist as far as they're concerned. And these people worship people like Stephen Miller, J.D. Vance, who's a beautiful liar. Oh, by jeez, is he a beautiful liar? Pete Hegseth, who's just an idiot. And, of course, the king himself, Donald Trump. But then you've got Kristi Noem, who's the leader of Homeland Security. She's a clown. Pam Bondi, the Attorney General, another criminal. They're in a bit of trouble over there. They've got a pack of henchmen. And it's scary to watch it. So anyway, that's enough for that little soundbite. We'll see you soon. Thanks for listening. Thanks everyone. All the best.